6 to 8 by EduCatup. And I am your super science teacher Ambika. At EduCatup, we always empower all our students as how to think and not what to think. So if you want to experience the same, then ensure to subscribe the EduCatup YouTube channel. The subscription button is given below, guys. If you like our video, don't forget to press the like button and ensure to hit the bell icon so that you can get all the latest updates from EduCatup. Now, let's start today's session, and the topic for the day is fiber to fabric. In this module, we are going to cover variety in fabrics, fiber, plant fibers, spinning cotton yarn, yarn to fabric, history of clothing materials. So let's move ahead. Alright, variety in fabrics. Now we need to understand that what do we mean by this word fabric. Right now I am wearing this black t-shirt. Now this black t-shirt is made up of acrylic material or acrylic fabric. So fabric is the material which is used to make different garments, which is used to make different clothings. In the market, according to your choice, according to your requirement, budget, you can have variety of fabrics available through which different clothing or garments can be made easily. Like for example, you have cotton, then you have chiffon, you have polyester, you have terracotta, you have linen, you have velvet, you have jacquard, you have rayon, you have you have denim. So you have a lot of fabrics available. Now let's move ahead. Now we need to understand that what do we mean by a fiber. Alright, so for that children, just pay a little attention. Suppose you have a piece of cotton fabric. This is a piece of cotton fabric. From this fabric, you are able to manage to take out a single thread. Say, this is the thread you are able to manage to take out. Now, if you hold the thread and with your nail, if you scrape on the thread, what you will see? You will see that at the mouth of the thread, you have this kind of small ends coming out. You will feel that it is a thread again, but it's not. Actually, these small pieces which you can see that they are coming out is actually fiber. So fiber are thin strands of thread that we see are made up of still thinner strands called fibers. So a yarn or a thread, जो धागा होता है, अगर आप उस धागे को हाथ में लेते हैं और उसके ऊपर ऐसे नाखून से स्क्रैच करते हैं, नेल से स्क्रैच करते हैं, सो यू कैन सी कि उस एक सिंगल थ्रेड में भी आपको कई सारे आपको थ्रेड्स दिखाई देते हैं. वो एक्चुअली में थ्रेड्स नहीं होते हैं, वो होते हैं फाइबर्स. सो बहुत सारे फाइबर्स कंबाइन करके एक धागा या एक थ्रेड बनाते हैं और वन यार्न, एंड देन मेनी थ्रेड्स टुगेदर मेक अप द फैब्रिक, एंड देन फ्रॉम द फैब्रिक द गारमेंट और द क्लोथिंग इज मेड. All right. Now let's move ahead. Now types of fibers. So there are basically two types of fibers, natural fibers and synthetic or man-made fibers. So in case of natural fibers are those fibers which are obtained from plants and animals. Like for example, silk, wool, then your cotton, flax, jute. So these are the fibers which are natural fibers because they are obtained from either plants or animals. Now in case of synthetic fibers are those fibers which are made in factories with the help of chemicals by humans. So that is why they are synthetic or man-made fibers. The examples can be rayon, nylon, polyester, terracotta, acrylic, because these all fibers are made in the factories with the help of chemicals by the thought process of human beings. Now let's move ahead. Now plant fibers. So basically from plants we get three fibers, that is cotton fiber, jute fiber and flax fiber. Now cotton fiber. Cotton is a very soft fiber and it grows around the seeds of the cotton plant. It wrinkles easily. Black soil is best situated for the cultivation of cotton plant, and that too on the ideal temperature of 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. Now, cotton fiber. You need to understand few points about it. See, the fruit of cotton plant is actually looks just like a lemon. You all have seen a lemon. As the lemon looks, the fruit of a cotton plant is also almost similar in size and shape. We call it as cotton bolls. Cotton bolls is the actually fruit of cotton plant. Now these cotton bolls, when they burst, from inside them cotton fiber comes out. This cotton fiber is also having seeds of cotton plant. Alright, now the process of removing or separating this cotton fiber and these seeds by combing the cotton fibers, like you comb your hairs with the help of a comb, the similar thing is also done over here. The fibers are put up on the floor and with the help of a comb, they are combed. So the seeds are separated from one side and the fibers are on one side. This process is called as ginning, the separation of cotton fiber from the seeds of the cotton. After separation of the seeds from the cotton fiber, the fibrous material which is left out is known as lint. So what is ginning and what is lint is extremely important to know. Now let's move ahead. Spinning cotton yarn. Spinning is the process of making yarn from fibers. That means combining fibers to make a yarn or thread. Dhaga banana fibers se, that is spinning. Children, if you are liking our video, ensure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe the Educator YouTube channel. Let's move ahead. So, spinning of cotton yarn can be done in three ways. The first is a power loom. Power loom means it can be made in the factories with the help of machines. Then you have spinning wheel, in Hindi we call it charkha, and then you have hand spindle, which is also known as takli. With all the three, cotton thread or cotton yarn can be made from cotton fibers. Now we are going to discuss about jute. Now jute is a natural fiber because jute is obtained from plants. It is cheap and biodegradable fiber. Cheap in sense it is not expensive, and biodegradable means it can be decomposed easily and can be mixed in the soil. Preferably grown in alluvial soil around 24 to 37 degrees Celsius and best cultivated in rainy season. Now, jute is extracted from the stem of the jute plant. So once jute plant is grown and harvested, those jute plants are put up in the water for 15 to 20 days. Now because of putting them in the water, the bacteria which is present in the water starts making them rot. And after 20 days, when those stems are taken out, the jute fibers are easily removed by hand from them and the stem part is separated. This process is known as retting, the separation of jute fibers from the stem of jute plant because of soaking them for 15 to 20 days in water, and by the action of bacteria present in water, they get rot. And then this particular thing happens, the separation part, which is known as retting. Now, other than that, jute is also used to make packaging clothes, carpets and rugs. Now, let's move ahead. Okay, now yarn to fabric. Yarn or thread or dhaga, सब एक ही बात है. There are different terms used for it. So, how yarn to fabric? First, you need to have the fibers. कॉटन के फाइबर्स हो सकते हैं, जूट के हो सकते हैं, वूल के हो सकते हैं, सिल्क के हो सकते हैं. किसी भी फैब्रिक के लिए हमें सबसे पहले फाइबर ही चाहिए. नाउ वंस यू हैव गॉट द फाइबर्स, देन बहुत सारे फाइबर्स को कंबाइन करेंगे आप तो एक धागा बनेगा, वन सिंगल थ्रेड. Then you will combine many threads or yarns together, then a fabric is made, and then from the fabric you will have the clothing or garment made. It's like, see, fibers. So you have like this many fibers. These many fibers will combine to make one yarn or one thread. Then this kind of many threads they will make this one fabric. So that is how many fibers will combine to make one thread, then many threads will be combined to make one fabric, and then from that fabric the clothing or garment is made. Now weaving. Weaving is an art of textile, very ancient. How it is done? Two sets of yarn or thread are used. Now how they are used? See, one set of thread or yarn is used in the length way, that is longitudinal, in terms of length, vertically. This is known as wrap. The other one is used laterally, like this. This is known as weft. So a crisscross kind of a pattern is made. Can you see? One is taken in the longitudinal way towards the length, that is the wrap, and one is taken the lateral ways, which is the weft. So it a crisscross pattern is made, and that is how the fabric is made. If you see any fabric and threads are visible, they are always like a crisscross pattern. So that is how weaving is done. In weaving, always two sets of yarn or thread are used. Alright, now let's move ahead. The next process is knitting. The difference between knitting and weaving is only one. In knitting, only one single yarn is used to make the entire fabric or clothing. In weaving, you had the two sets of yarn. In knitting, you have one single yarn ball. Knitting is in Hindi we call it बुनाई. जो हम बुनाई करते हैं उसमें हमारे पास एक ही ऊन होती है या वूल होती है जिससे हम बनाते जाते हैं knitting needles की मदद से. So that is the difference between weaving and knitting. Let's move ahead. History of clothing material. So in ancient times, people used the bark and big leaves of trees, skin and fur of animals to cover themselves because fabrics or fibers have not been discovered or invented. The early Indians wore fabrics made of cotton. So cotton is like having a history a long back ago. In ancient Egypt, cotton as well as flax were used for making fabric. Again, flax and cotton both have been in usage since a very ancient time, both the fibers. And both the fibers are actually natural fibers because we obtain both cotton and flax from plant fibers, from plants. Now, my dear children, we have come to the end of this amazing, sweet and short session, and I hope that you all must like the video and subscribe the Educatup YouTube channel. If you haven't done so, the YouTube channel link of Educatup is just given below, guys. Do ensure to subscribe it. For me, now it's time to say sign out. Bye-bye. Until the time we meet again, be happy, be safe and keep updating yourself with Educatup. Take care, guys.